fans, do you want to win your share of $100,000? Simply enter the houseofboxing.com Fight Night Prediction Challenge. Compete with boxing fans around the world. Simply head over to houseofboxing.com and sign up now.
This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted to be joined with Harlem Eubank. There is no man I want to be joined with. When I'm in Brighton, there ain't nobody better that I want to be joined with than the king of Brighton, mate, Mr. Harlem Eubank, or all the Eubanks, mate. How are we, mate? Buzzing for this one, I bet.
We're here, mate. Welcome to Brighton. It's good to be here in preparation for this boxing event. I'm excited to bring this back to Brighton, and it's going to be a great night.
This is something that's been talked about for so long. You've always said, no, the homecoming in Brighton. No, it's not quite the Amex, but a special arena in itself. But fighting Timo Schwarzkop, how happy are we to finally have this over the line? Something that you've sort of worked your whole career towards, to be back in Brighton, bring boxing back to Brighton. For the man to be able to do, for you, the man to be able to do that, you must be delighted with that.
Most definitely. Obviously, one dream of mine is the Amex. That's the, that's in the distant, future, that we're kind of fast approaching. But the Brighton Centre is a big one for me as well. It's a dream venue. My uncle Chris boxed here in his first defence after the Nigel Benn fight on my birthday in 1991, 3 years before I was born. So it only feels right, 30 years later, to come back here and headline. It's a special moment, and a moment I'm gonna relish in.
So you saying that about the centre, bringing it back, and not being there since your uncle was there, it must sort of hold a special place in your heart that you're able to do this and follow in his footsteps in a way. I know you want to be known as your own person, but to follow in the footsteps of the family name at this centre, it must be special for you.
Definitely, I'm inspired by my family. They've achieved so much in the sport, and to be able to, like you say, bring it back and and do something myself in the sport to continue that legacy is a beautiful thing for me. So I'm excited to kick that off on November the 10th and celebrate in front of my people.
Absolutely. And we'll go into the opponent, Timo Schwarzkop. We know he's done numerous rounds with some top operators such as Jack Catterall, Anthony Iggit, Junior Witter. Do you feel like this is the hardest fight of your career up until this point?
It's definitely the toughest test in my career. He's operated at that level. The operators that you just mentioned there are, some of them are at the top of the sport. And that's where I want to be. This is the type of test that I want to take to put myself in contention for them big fights in the division. This is the hottest division in boxing right now. 140. Over here and in the US is the hottest division. It's the most exciting. It's got arguably the best fighters and the most entertaining fighters. And this is the mix that I'm ready to be in now. I'm ready for all comers.
And for yourself now, at this point in your career, how much are you relishing that you're going to take risks now? Like, it's almost like now it's all the hard fights are all to come now. And is that an exciting thing for you? Is that something that you relish, that that in the future of your career you're going to be in with some real tough operators?
Yeah, that excites me. That makes me want to train harder. Makes me want to, dedicate myself more, do all the things to get myself in a position to win those type of fights. That's what it's all about. I've always been ready to relish and take on them tough tasks. It's all about the steps in between that get you ready for that. That kind of churn away, and you get the experience to be able to go into them fights with full confidence that you can dethrone whoever's in front of you. And I'm getting to that point in my career now where we're taking on these fights.
And for yourself, was obviously there was talk of Lewis Ritson, a European title shot. Both of those haven't come to fruition just of yet. Is there a bit of disappointment it might not be someone like Ritson for this big homecoming?
Yeah, a bit disappointing because we want the big names and them big clashes, whether it's title or a big domestic clash that puts you closer to or in a position for that world title shot. That is, that's what we want in this sport. And this is a big fight. This is a big fight. I'm not taking him any lighter. I wouldn't take Timo any lighter than the other two you mentioned before. You know, this is a big test, and you know, one that I'm going to relish in front of my home crowd.
How important is it to take it in fight by fight in a way, focusing on Timo, because we've seen it so many times before when you've been, you know, not necessarily you, but other fighters who've been upcoming a fight, they've been talking about different names, and they get beaten by a guy who potentially they shouldn't have beaten. Is it important that you're not always sort of overlooking it and you're taking it fight by fight?
Most definitely. I've had no chance in this sport to overlook anyone. The surname Eubank, you get the best version of every single opponent. So scrap what you've seen from them before. They're coming to try and upset the odds, and I've dealt with that my whole career, and you know, I'll deal with that on the 10th of November with the best version of Timo Schwarzkop.
And for yourself now, I know that it sort of contradicts what I've just said there, but for someone like yourself where you want to be in there with the big names now, is that exciting for you that you could potentially be in there with them after a win like this in Brighton?
Yeah, definitely. This is the launch pad that throws me into that conversation of the world level 140-pound operators.
So we'll move on. Obviously, in the lead up to this fight, hit with the unfortunate news of your dad passing away. I did want to say, just all my thoughts go out to you, your family, and everyone like that. How difficult has that been in the lead up to a big fight like this?
It's been hard, but I think having a focus, having a schedule of training, and a date that kind of forces you to have to be in the gym and in that routine helps, divert the energy, into something else rather than kind of sitting in your thoughts. You don't have time. You're in the motion of the training wheel, that eat, sleep, train, repeat cycle. So it's been helpful to have that while this is going on as well. So
I understand it is a difficult subject for you, but with Sebastian and your dad now and family, numerous family bereavements and deaths, when you face mortality and you see family mortality, how much does that make you appreciate life in a way and make you value your own life more? Would you say it does that?
Definitely. It makes you see, one, that how precious life is. Every moment we have, we can't take for granted. This is, a gift given to us by a higher power. We come in through the breath and we leave through the breath. And what we do here, what we do here is what lives on forever. The memories we leave with people, the experiences we have. This is what life's all about. I believe the spirit lives on, so that gives me faith in them type of tragedies. It gives me faith, it gives me strength, and I take that motivation and inspiration from them and the memories I have with them, take that into how I conduct myself through my life, through my career, through my interactions with the people around me.
You say there about it being a gift, and you think about the difficult time in your life, the hard times that you've had. Do you sometimes look at it as building strength, and do you find strength and find character from the dark times in a way?
Yeah, I think you have to find strength to keep going. You have to look to these moments. A sport like boxing, you can go through dark times. You can be at rock bottom. You have to go to dark places sometimes. So you definitely have to use different forms of inspiration from people that you've shared memories with. You can definitely use inspiration from them to drive you on. It's a tough sport, and you have to use the inspiration that you've received from people that are here and people that have passed on to the next realm to do the best you can do whilst you're here. Life is a precious gift, and that's more evident than ever.
100%. I do just reiterate that my thoughts are with you. I'm always here when you need anything, man. sort of just a last one from me. I did see Danny mention it earlier. I am in the broadcast channel, Rise Up. What's that been like for you, sharing the knowledge that you've got to all your keen followers, mate, including myself? I'm a part of it.
I like it, man. Building a little community, little health community, giving people tips and and showing people how I live my life. A bit more of an intimate kind of channel where people can see what I do day to day and little gems that I feel I can give people communicating the Rise Up broadcast channel. So yeah, it's a little community building, mate, and I'm glad you're a part of it.
Of course, man. I keep wanting to see them post of them 7 a.m. swims, mate. They're inspiring, mate. They're inspiring me. Harlem, just wanted to say thank you for the time to speak to me. I appreciate it. And all the best for the future. I'm sure this won't be the last time we're catching up before the fight, mate. Top man. Thank you, mate.